What is going on, guys? So in the earnings call, we got a lot of information, not only from the earnings call obviously, but from DICE and EA themselves. More importantly, I wanted to discuss what we basically got from the developers themselves. They basically gave us another apology. It's not even an apology. It's like, I don't know. I don't like the way it's worded, but whatever. We're not here to discuss that. We're here to kind of go over it. So let's get started. So I'll put it on the screen. If you want to read it yourself, you can go ahead and do that if you don't like hearing other people read, or maybe you think I read too slow. But I'll put it on the screen. You can pause it or you can fast forward it, whatever you want. You've waited patiently to hear from us on what we're doing to address the issues with Battlefield 2042 that you have told us about, and the direction you can expect to see us take in the months ahead. We're taking action on multiple fronts to address feedback and implement extensive fixes to the game, key features that are important to you, and getting team play where it needs to be. After the release of an update in early March, which will include improvements to scoreboards, subsequent updates will prioritize work that will include voice communication, a tighter squad loop, including refined ping system, which I don't know what they mean by that, but we'll see. Feedback-based improvement on gunplay, improved reward loop, expanded tools, modes, and tweaks to player experience in Battlefield Portal. I'm guessing they're talking about like XP farms and all of that stuff that happens in Portal. With a focus on improving these core elements of the game, we've made the big decision to move Season 1 to early summer. Now we'll get back to that in a little bit, but let's continue. When Season 1 arrives in early summer, it will mark the start of a year where we will deliver 4 seasons, 4 new specialists, a new locations, along with more new content. For all of you who purchased the Year 1 Pass as part of the Gold and Ultimate Editions, we know this content is coming later than expected, so we're giving you all an exclusive bundle containing a specialist skin, weapon, and vehicle skins, a melee weapon, and a player card, all to be delivered in the next update. So the next update, you're gonna get these things. We're also planning an improved player feedback process with all of you as we begin on working on new changes, including map design. We'll be sharing our efforts with you, knowing that your feedback on the progress is critical. Oh, and we'll get back to that as well, because I have a couple things I want to say about that. We are committed to and focused on ensuring Battlefield 2042 lives up to our ambitions and your expectations. It is a task we are dedicated to accomplishing. It's quite a read. But let's get back to the important part. This is kind of the part that killed me the most, which is that they're moving Season 1 to early summer. For those of you who don't know, you might think summer may start on May or June. It starts on June 21st. So do not expect anything on June. I assume it'll happen in July, if anything, or if not, on August. But do not expect anything on June. Season 1 will probably start in July, probably late July, if anything. Just my theory. I have, of course, no proof of that. It's just a theory. Nobody knows anything at this point. But that is really what killed me on the inside. I was like, oh my god, like early summer. Like, I understand the wording, you know what I mean? Because they're just trying to be like, oh, early summer. That doesn't sound too far away, but it is. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if y'all are still gonna be playing by then, so but moving on to the second part that I wanted to address, and that was the feedback situation. So they put up this blog post, and I'm just gonna look at the three main points. Of course, if you want to read the whole thing, you can pause the video. It's pretty interesting, and I guess we'll see more this month that's coming up. If they actually do follow up on their word, but if they don't, well then they don't, and really, what are we gonna do? You know what I mean? So, but let's get reading the three main points that I did want to talk about. Number 1, we will present specific major focus areas to you along with our current thinking, detailing where we are planning to make changes. To me, that is important because it lets us know what their mind state is, what they're looking into, what they aren't. I think that's important. That's only if they can continue the communication. If they can't, then there's really no point to this blog post. But number 2, we will then take the time to observe and listen to the conversations that you go on to have about both the area of concern and our proposals for adjustments. So this is not the first time that they have mentioned that they are listening to our feedback. If you guys remember, they said the same thing when we were talking and discussing about specialists in Battlefield 2042. Fast forward, and here we are with specialists anyway. So not the first time, but at least they know that our feedback should technically matter. Number 3, later you will hear from us on the topic again, but this time your feedback will have been factored into our consideration and guided the decisions made for improvements. Again, I mean, they've said this before, so I'm not surprised. They do mention map design, which is something that I do need to see change, because the current map design is simply not good. It doesn't give infantry players any room for enjoyment. But there's this little quote that I did want to look into, because this is what really caught my attention out of this entire thing. Portal remains an integral part of the game, and we will continue to expand its tools, modes, and tweak player experience gains. If you like Portal, that's cool. Me personally, I just don't care about it. If I wanted to play Battlefield 3, I would just play Battlefield 3. I would not be playing Battlefield 2042. But if you like it, that's cool. But that's not the part that I was interested in. The part that I was interested in is the next sentence. Finally, we have a team analyzing specialists and working on them. We are not quite ready to talk about actions we'll be taking, but as soon as we are, you will hear from us. That to me is a good sign. I do not expect specialists to go away completely, but I do hope that at least they are reduced into mainly operators. That's it. Without special abilities, without special skills. I think people should just be allowed to use whatever character they want to use. If you're into using women operators, and go ahead and use that. If you want to use the shield with it, then that should be an option. I don't know why they decided to lock it into a single operator, but whatever. Again, I don't expect them to completely remove them, because that is how they are planning to make the most money, but we'll see how things go. I hope they do change something at least with these specialists. So and finally, I wanted to talk about the player count on the last 3 Battlefield titles. Now, this is only Steam numbers. I don't know the specific console numbers, because those are not public to my knowledge. But starting off with the oldest one, concurrent players at that particular moment were almost 11,000 on Battlefield 1. Battlefield 5, which to me is the worst Battlefield of all time, 24,507 players at that particular time. Now, Battlefield 2042 only had 4,251 players at that particular time. Now, this is not just some random single day thing. This is literally a trend within those games. Like, it's insane the amount of players that are simply not playing Battlefield 2042, considering that it's the newest title. So I don't know, man. It just kind of, to me, it just says the state of the game it's in. You know what I mean? It's in a bad state. It's bland, generic. There's really nothing of interest there. There's like 20 some weapons total. So now I can't say I'm surprised, but it is sad to see. I want, of course, Battlefield to be the best it can be. But with that being said, anything you want to add, leave your thoughts, comments, and opinions down in the comment section. That's it for me. Thank you all so much for watching. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all next time if you stick around.